Can I finally get my first goal of the season?
I thought I was going to die in there. I was going in.
Oh! Today we're playing in the Kick for Mind charity tournament. We have two big opportunities to finally get on the score sheet for the first time this season. Now this was a charity tournament, so there were 4 teams. There was the green team, the blue team, the gold team, and last but not least, our team, the red team. Now our first game in the tournament, we had the green team, which was stacked with ex-pros and were heavy favourites to win the tournament. And as you can see here, we've also got 2 of Angry Ginger's Winton United team here, Tenny and Benno, and they cause a bit of trouble in our game, and I take a massive one here, but you'll have to stay along to find out what happens in that game, because first we're going to rewind and see why I'm yet to score a goal. Now let's take it back to 1 year ago. I was spending my whole summer training for the upcoming season, and I got in some pretty good shape. But the reason for this was because the year before I'd undergone ACL surgery, and my only goal was to get back to playing the football I used to. And because I was so dedicated to this cause, I spent every waking minute training as much as I could, because I wanted to be the best I could again. And despite making loads of progress, these things take time, and I was never as sharp and as quick as I was before. So after a year of not playing football, I trialled for the uni football teams, and I was delighted that I got into the first team. However, naturally I'm a centre mid, and I got asked to play centre back. And I threw myself into it. I absolutely loved it. In our first season, we played 10 league games, we got 4 clean sheets, and we only conceded 9 goals. And I felt that this was the perfect position to establish myself back into football, as it just isn't as demanding as it is in centre mid. Oh yeah, and we won the league and got promoted. That was pretty nice. But despite that, there were still signs that I was a centre mid playing out of position. As you can see now, the further the season went on, the more and more I just longed to be bombing from box to box, smashing into tackles, getting shots off on the edge of the box. And it wasn't happening. But next year is my opportunity to move back to centre mid. I need to prove to myself once and for all that I am ready to go there, and I'm back to my best and can play there. And there's only one way to do that, and that's score a goal. This was my only shot this season, and so we need to put things right. And so with that, we head to the Kick for Mind charity tournament. What better way to make a name for ourselves than our first ever influencer charity event? Now this was all for a great cause. Obviously we want to score a goal, but the main thing is raising money for Mind, so I'll leave a link in the top of the description if you wanted to donate.
We, the red team, were the least voted for team out of the 4. Do yourselves proud, and don't fucking come back in here if you get paid. Okay, let's go!
And with that, our first game versus the mighty green team got underway. But nothing could have prepared me for the nightmare start. Their winger picks up the ball, absolutely skins me with a nutmeg, and now he's through on goal, slots it past Jason to make it 1-0 to the Greens. Nightmare start. Clearly I've lost all my centre-back ability already. That is awful defending. Things went from bad to worse for me as Ginger's mate Fredinho got the crowd rattled against me. Everything was going wrong as the Greens put a few more past us, and by the time it was half time we were 5-0 down. Even Benno celebrated with his top off. At half time we had a team talk. We said, look, we can't have this. We are football influencers. We put this out on the internet. We cannot play like this. We need to turn things around. I've decided I've had enough. This can't be my introduction to charity matches, so I've picked up the ball here. I've gone past Fredinho and we are driving forward into the space here. I've got lucky with a bounce back of Benno, but I still got the ball coming forward on this left hand side. Looked up, played it inside. 1-2. Coming forward here, sizing up Tenny here. Step over, shift inside. But maybe I'm not ready to be a centre mid yet, because back in the day when I cut inside there, I would have been able to get onto that and smash it top bins. But luckily for me, JDB gets cleaned out by Tenny after that shot there, and we have a penalty that JDB is going to convert here. Oh, it's been saved.
That's a foul! Ref! That's a fucking foul!
Seems like JDB's not too happy with that penalty, and he's going to beef the Winton United boys here, and it's going to eventually sizzle out, but it's going to end up in me getting absolutely smashed here by Benno, and it's going to end the game for me.
Tom, do it! Tom, head up!
The best fullback in the world.
And with that, the full-time whistle blew. We lost 8-0 in the end, and maybe I was proving to myself that I wasn't quite ready, that I wasn't good enough to play where I wanted. And during our break, the gold team managed to beat the blue team, which meant we would be playing the blue team in a 3rd and 4th place playoff, and was my only chance for redemption. And as I walked back out onto that pitch, I was thinking, was I really going to let that last game define me? Was I going to let all those hours and hours of training go to waste? Or was I going to prove myself? Was I going to put all that practice into play? Was I going to show myself against all these influencers that I've watched for years and show them who I am? And that's what I chose. However, it wasn't us who had the first chance of the game. And after that close call, the whole team decided we needed to prove ourselves, and they produced this absolute beauty of a move. Look at this, Joey Jokes with a cut inside. Great pass, great touch from Japov. He's got it at his feet. Boom! That is the best goal you will see all week. Look at the way that flies off his foot, straight into the top left-hand corner. Rocket. And despite the hard work from the team, they were quick to respond. And now I decided to pull my finger out. This was the time I was going to show people my confidence. I was going to show people that I was back. Oh, what could have been with that goal. Oh, so unlucky. I had the raw now. I knew this was the moment. I've played the 1-2. I've got the ball. I've come inside the box. Left foot, and he's put it bottom corner. This was the moment. This was the moment I needed. I've made it 2-1 to us. And that's exactly what I needed to do to prove to myself I can be where I want to be. And although I'd done my bit, the Blues were determined not to let that stop them, and they've won a penalty here off Jason, which I think is very unfortunate. But there we are. The Blues, with the penalty, put it away to make it 2-2. But now I'd scored my goal, my confidence was flowing, and I wasn't going to let us lose. And I've won a penalty up the other end of the pitch. I got called a diver for this and a cheat, but I got absolutely yeeted by this guy in the back. And we've put Joey Jokes on the penalty, and he's buried it to make it 3-2. And the boys have won the game. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back, and I'm here to say far more content coming soon on the journey forward. As always, keep training.